right. Put this up here. Let's see. That looks straight. Look at that guy. Boop. Okay, we got the buddy. Hey, are we still doing breakfast 10 to 1?
Not a restaurant, Mark. Still a production company.
Okay. So who's coming on this week?
You book the guest every week.
Yeah, no, I can book a guest. You want one today?
Yeah. Someone off that board. You pick.
You want somebody from this list? That's easy. Easier. Peyton Manning. Nope. Drew Brees, probably busy. Okay. Oh, how about D-Ware? It's my dog.
Call him.
Yeah, I'll call him right now. Are we doing this right now, or?
We're ready.
Yeah, no, I was ready. Easy. Pick up. DeMarcus, my man, what's up, bro?
Who is this?
Hey, it's Sanchez,
Who?
Mark Sanchez, your buddy.
Who is this?
Sanchez, quarterback, New York Jets. Remember, you played for the Cowboys, 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 game. You sacked me first play of the game, number 6.
Yeah, but I got to get ready to go. I got to go get my kids and everything. What's up? What do you need?
Yeah, no, so basically just like drop everything you're doing and join the podcast real fast. It'll only take a couple seconds, like 30 minutes. And then this would be great. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in again to Fourth and Forever. I'm your host, Mark Sanchez.
Hold on. I'm just messing with you, man. What's up, boy? What's up, man?
There's my guy. How you been, man? How's the family?
Man, I've been good, man. The family's been doing well. You know, COVID's been really crazy, but it's been awesome. What about you?
Same. The world kind of stopped, but what I loved watching was your workout videos. We'll get into 3-Volt Fitness and your gym, everything going on there in Dallas. But I wanted to start with some very quick, kind of fast-paced questions, 1 to 2 word answers from you. We're going to call this the first down blitz. I know you love that as a defensive guy. So I want to ask you first, who has crazier fans in your 2 rivalry games from the Cowboys and the Broncos? Is it the Eagles or the Chiefs? The Dallas Cowboys rivals, the Eagles, have crazier fans, or the Denver Bronco rivals, the Chiefs, have crazier fans? Go.
You know what's so crazy? I would say the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I remember it was a snowy game, and they were actually putting batteries inside of snowballs and throwing them at us, and it was hitting our helmets. I was so pissed that game, dude. But
unbelievable.
They have some crazy fans, and if you have a jail at the bottom of your stadium, the old stadium, that's when you know you got some really bad fans.
That's right. I love that. Okay, here's a quick one. War Eagle or Roll Tide? I know you're an Alabama native. War Eagle or Roll Tide?
War Eagle. I'm an Auburn fan, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I know Roll Tide is where it's at, but you know what? I'm from Auburn, Alabama, so War Eagle.
Wow. Hold on. They said, is that right? Coach Saban's patching in? Hold on. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him on the line.
He didn't want me.
All right,
he didn't give me a scholarship, so I'm not worried about the Alabama at all.
Okay. Here's the best one, obviously excluding me. Who is the GOAT at quarterback? Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
The greatest quarterback of all time, I would say Peyton Manning.
Ooh, what a homer.
It is what it is, man. He was a sheriff, man. And winning a Super Bowl with him at a time to where he wasn't playing his best, that's when you know you got a true champion and a true athlete in the GOAT. I mean, I don't know if there's many records out there that people have broken that's his.
That was obviously excluding me. I get it. How about your celebrity crush growing up? Who did you stop traffic, don't bother me, I'm watching TV, and my girl's on TV. Who was it? Name her.
Oh, man. It was Eva Longoria. Dude, for something,
Whoa.
Yes. I mean, Texas girl, I loved Eva Longoria, dog. It was one of those things where she came to the Dallas Cowboys facility one time. I didn't say a word.
Wait, did the producers or somebody tell you to say that?
No. I'm being honest with you right now. It is what it is, man.
This is some strange connective tissue here. Okay.
Hey, listen, what about you? Who was your crush? You're talking about me. Who was your crush?
Same.
Really? Are you kidding me right now?
I mean, I can't say anything different now. I don't want to get in trouble.
Wow,
okay, moving on to our last question of the entire interview, because this has gone south fast. Let's see. Your favorite restaurant in Dallas. You got to get a bite to eat. It could be your last meal of your entire life. Where are you going to eat in Dallas?
Nick and Sam's. Have you ever eaten that?
I called this one before the interview.
I remember eating a steak at Nick and Sam's. They had something called the Wagyu sampler. I didn't know how much it was until I got the bill at the end. So there was five-ounce pieces of Wagyu beef. You know, like Russian, Germany, American Wagyu. And I saw my bill, it was $6.50 just for the meat. And I said,
oh dear.
Are you like kidding me right now? But that's a spot where I would go and eat at for sure.
Okay, we're going to move on to your Cowboys career, an illustrious career. But as a rookie, this guy might not have wanted to draft you. Jerry Jones overrules him, as he tends to do.
I know exactly
the biggest
who you're talking
takeaway,
about.
the biggest lesson that you learned from Bill Parcells.
You need to be battle-hardened if you're going to play football. You know about those days when we had, those 2-a-day padded practices, and we would go into the game hurt and still beat people up. It was one of those things where now, they only have the little shimno pads on, they have the hat on, but no. When we played with Larry Allen and Bill Parcells, just to name a few of those guys, you have to be battle-hardened if you want to be great, because there's going to be some times where you don't want to play. There's going to be times where, you have to really, what they call it nut-cutting time in the fourth quarter, where you got to go out there and get it no matter what the situation is. And so that's one thing I learned from Bill Parcells playing, but also in life. Like, you're going to have to go and do some things that you don't want to do. You got to be battle-hardened while you're doing it.
Well said. Well said. Okay, our first impressions of each other. Obviously, we got up close and personal in that September 11th game, the 10-year anniversary. Tony Romo and I we tried our hardest to lose that game. We just gave the ball to each other back and forth in that third and fourth quarter. It was an absolute disaster. They replayed it on NBC maybe a month or two ago. And your first impressions of me, you had 3 quarterback hits. You had a sack the first play of the game, 2 sacks total. What you're doing there is completely illegal. You are actually grabbing my head and twisting my neck around. It was really uncomfortable for me. What do you remember from that game?
I remember going up to the Big Apple. Every single time you play in the Big Apple, they say you got to turn up and turn out. And it was at that 9-11 game to where there were so many emotions in that game. The national anthem, they're playing all that, they're doing all those things. Everybody's crying, tearing up. And all of a sudden you get that gladiator feel in the stadium, because we are gladiators in there. And the first or second snap, I remember lining up on the left side, which I never line up on the left side, and you know that. Always
I saw that too. I was like,
what are they doing?
What's he doing over there? Somebody get him. All right, I'm going to go through this play. Somebody get him.
And dude, so I rushed up the field, went underneath, and I'm like, okay, he's a right-handed quarterback, meaning you're this way. And so I know he sees me coming from here, but you were so focused on the guy down the field. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting closer to him. And he still does not see me. And when I hit you, I'm not even kidding. When I hit you, I said, I want to squeeze the life out of him when I hit him. Dude, I'm being honest. That's my mentality when I played, man. And when I hit you, I tried to
Are you talking about me personally?
No, quarterback.
Me personally or every quarterback?
No, this is every quarterback.
Okay.
Every quarterback, not Mark Sanchez, not the guy that I know that's like my best friend, not that guy, But dude, when I hit you and you landed, you looked at me like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? It was crazy. And then it happened over and over and over again. And I don't know if that was one of the games where you were like, listen, coach, we finna have to put 2 and 3 guys on this guy right here, because I'm not going to take this punishment the whole game, especially when it being 9/11.
I'm like, didn't we talk about this leading up to this game, guys? That's the bell cow over there,
Yes, man.
I thought we put an APB out on this guy. What happened here?
Yeah, man.
I'm confused.
It was one of those deals, though. It was a challenging game, man, and it was so many crazy plays. in that game.
Dude,
Interceptions here,
plays, yeah.
defensive plays. It was crazy.
That was a fun one. Let's see. Did you think back in 2014 that you were going to retire a Cowboy? And I know this is going to get into the conversation you had with Jerry Jones before that, but did you think you were going to retire a Cowboy?
When you start out playing with the team, if you're there like 9, 10 years, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to at least retire with the team, because those last amount of years, you become not just that amazing player, but you become a leader too at the same time. But your talent diminishes a little bit. And so you're like, okay, well, I can be that coach that also helps the coach, but be able to perform out there on the football field like I should. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, we can't pay you. We can't give you the contract or pay you your last year, and we're going to release you and let you test the market. And it's almost like one of those, ugh, man, I thought this right here was the team that I was going to actually retire with. And all of a sudden I get a call from Elway. I know Peyton's up there, get a call from Peyton. I see TJ Ward and Chris Harris and Aqib Talib on the plane with me. We was all, not all of us, but Aqib Talib was right behind me on the plane. I didn't even know who Aqib Talib was. I'm being honest with you right here. I was sitting here on the plane, T-shirt on, Aqib has his T-shirt on. And we get off the plane, I go into the bathroom, because you want to be suited and booted when you're going to do an interview, because I knew I was going to sign. So I'm putting on my suit in the bathroom in Denver, Colorado. And I turn around and I look, and there's Aqib getting dressed too in his suit. Dude, and I look, and I'm like, I still didn't know who Aqib was. And I'm like, hey, what, you going to do an interview? And he was like, yeah, I'm about to go sign with the Denver Broncos. And he was like, my name's Aqib. And I'm like, Aqib? See, that's the thing that you guys don't understand is I don't watch a lot of football. I'm more of a technician of the game. And so we started talking, chatting back and forth. And Aqib was like, dog, I can't wait to have us together playing in a game. And then I went back and I felt so stupid. When I went back and looked at who Aqib Talib was, I was like, this is one of the best corners in the NFL, and still one of the best corners in the NFL, and I didn't know who he was. And I told
Did you tell him that?
I did. Oh. I told Aqib, you know me, I'm straight up, Mark. I'll tell you straight to your face what's up. And he was like, dawg, I wonder why you was looking at me like that.
He knew.
I wonder why you was looking at me
it's
like that.
It's like, when the guy shows up or you see somebody like your Little League coach and they're like, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, man, how's the family? Dude, awesome.
That's how it was. And from that point on, getting up there in the atmosphere, it was real, man. I got that Super Bowl win for sure.
That's awesome. And then obviously you talked about the appeal signing in Denver. You touched on that briefly, but what did you see in Von Miller, and what was one of the most important pieces of knowledge you imparted on him? What did you try and teach him?
When I first got there, I had already been coaching Von a little bit since his rookie season. And I remember when they came down to, it was a year before that year I got released, and it was like that 58-53 game. You remember that game? It was a huge, crazy blowout game that we had. And I remember going up there, talking to Von once I got signed, and I knew how great of a player he was. I just knew that he needed to be focused. And I was like, hey, Von, these are some of the things that you need to do to make sure you stay focused, to make sure you stay dialed in. And I took him under my wing. And like that next year, he had like 18 sacks. The next year, he had 17 sacks, 19 sacks or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this dude right here is a beast, but he actually sparked me too, because he was better than me at the time. I'm like, dude, Mark, you was there. You was there in the locker room now. And you're looking like, these two monsters right here, when they come off the corner, they're bringing the heat. And one thing that Von actually learned a lot, man, was staying focused with what he wants to accomplish. That's one thing I really left with him in being a leader. And I can see that all the things that I showed him while I was there, he's teaching all the other guys. So I feel like the legacy lives on.
Von can potentially surpass your sack record or your total career sack number. You're at 138.5. You are 9th all time. You've surpassed people that you looked up to.
Yeah.
We did some deep diving on this research now. I got a great research team. My best friend Scotty said you lived in an apartment number 56.
I did.
And that was Lawrence Taylor's number?
Yes, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, I lived in an 800 square
Count
foot.
It, baby.
Yes. Listen, that's back. You went
and
way
so that
back.
apartment, 56. Go. Tell me about that apartment. One story from that apartment.
Yeah, it was an apartment that was like 800 square foot, 3-bedroom with a little small kitchen in it. And I remember working there, cutting the grass for all the apartments. There was 3 huge apartment complexes. It took me like a week on one of those big riding lawnmowers. And I never knew what 56 meant, right? I never knew what 94 meant, and I never knew what 53 meant. But 56 was a guy that I wanted to be like when I started playing at Troy. 94, I didn't know who 94 was, and they told me Tim Betts wore number 94 at Troy. And I said, you know, I'm going to make you guys forget about number 94, making me wear this stupid number. That's what I told him, because I was number 8 in high school, played wide receiver. I was like, 94? This number sucks. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking. But then I got to a point where I grew into it. And then I got to the Dallas Cowboys, I wore number 94. And I didn't know who number 94 was before me. When I came to the Dallas Cowboys, they said, do you know Charles Haley? And I said, should I be stupid right now and say no? Or should I say yes? I said yes. I actually lied because I didn't want to run into another keep to leave situation that happened. But no, man. But I didn't know. I didn't know who he was. And then all of a sudden he comes in with these 5 Super Bowl rings. And I saw how he played. I was like, man, I want to have the tenacity like he played. And then played with number 58. I'm like, okay, what's the significance of 94 and 58? And the reason why I wore number 13, it was about the archangel, right? The angel jet that brings in a lot of energy wherever he goes. So for the first time for me, there was 58, which is 13, which is the archangel. And there's 94, which is 13, which is the archangel. In the highest part of my career, both of those angels came together and really wreaked havoc on Cam Newton in that Super Bowl. You know
doubt.
What I'm saying?
What was that? I mean, I remember watching that game and just, it was just a matter of time before you or Vaughn was going to make a play. And you did in the most significant moments. I remember TJ Ward picked up the fumble, scooped up the fumble or something like that. But that was this incredible pinnacle of your career. And there you are in the locker room, one of the first guys in the locker room with the trophy. And Peyton walks in. What did it sound like? What did it smell like? What did it feel like? What did you guys say to each other? Just give us all the emotion you possibly can from that.
I'm going to rewind the tape back to the AFC Championship game. I remember we winning the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, and I just walked to the locker room. And I sat there and I started taking my stuff off. And all the players came into the locker room, in the Denver Broncos locker room, and it said, DeMarcus, man, we just won the AFC Championship. I was like, oh, all right. So walked outside, the confetti, everything is going on. And I'm sitting there, you know, holding my fingers like I know I got something to say. And they gave me the game ball because of how much pressure I got and all this and that. And I said, I'm going to tell y'all what. I told y'all, if y'all get me to this Super Bowl, we're not losing this Super Bowl. I understand that there's a lot of AFC championships been won around here. I haven't won anything. This is my first playoff game I ever won, and it was an AFC championship game. I said, I'm going to be up at 6 a.m. in the morning, Monday morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that's what I called them. That's what I said. And I said, y'all better get your fucking mind right because we're going to win this game. And they looked at me like, we're supposed to be celebrating. Then I smiled, I said, but I tell you what, we're going to celebrate tonight. Because tomorrow, I want y'all to forget about it because we got something we need to do. And
I love it.
To fast forward to that, hoisting up that trophy in that locker room, actually, I remember right after the game, we won the game, and I said, I just need some time to myself. I didn't even touch the Super Bowl trophy because I wanted to touch it in a way to where there wasn't a whole bunch of fans around. You know, you can't really focus on that, all these pictures. And I remember walking into the locker room, you know, just so excited. And I walked into the locker room and that Super Bowl trophy was on my locker. I don't know how it got there. And I walked into the locker room, and I saw it in my locker. And I saw Ware, there was nobody else in there, and I saw that trophy. And you know what I mean, Mark, when you just sit in there and you're walking towards that trophy, it's like a beam of light. Like you worked your whole career to just touch that trophy. And I remember grabbing that trophy off of my locker and just like holding it, like shaking. Because I was like, I did it, man. Like, this is something that I wanted to do for my whole career. I got one opportunity and I did it. And then I felt a little tap on my shoulder. Boom, boom. There was Peyton. And me and Peyton looked at each other in our eyes like this. There was no words. And we just like held each other in tears. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that last speech that he gave in front of the team was his last one. He knew that. And I knew after that season, I only had one more season left because my body was so beat up. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done after this season. And we didn't have to say those words, but those words were there when we held that trophy up. And I remember grabbing the top of that ball, and he grabbed the bottom of that trophy, and we held it up like this, like this. I still got that picture. And the thing is, I looked at that trophy, and I looked at him like this. It was one of those things, dude, I will never forget that moment of my career. The biggest moment of my career was that moment, and it was with Peyton. To where I was at the end of my career, he was at the end of his career, and we said, we did it. That was so cool, dude. And then the masses came in.
Then it was pandemonium and the parade and a couple adult beverages later, and who knows what happens. Okay, good. I love that story, by the way. I'm freaking getting goosebumps, and I'm so damn jealous. But I'm happy for you, of course. So whose decision was it to re-sign as a Dallas Cowboy and retire there, and why was that important for you?
It was very important for me. I'm going to start there first because that's where I started my career, and that's who gave me that chance. I played there the longest, but I closed my career off being a Bronco. And I feel like there were stages to where there was a beginning, there was a flow in between, and then there was an end that ended with Denver. And I decided to come back home because that's where I started my home, here in Dallas. And that's where my kids are. That's where my family's at. But also, I will always be a Bronco. Like, no matter what, I will always be a Bronco. I will always have those memories in there. And that's where I had the most change in my life. Mark, when you talk about, Christianity, when we talk about God and all those things, that's where I had the most change in my life of becoming that leader in that realm. So all of it's important. But that's why I decided, to retire as a Dallas Cowboy, is because of the roots that I had here, but also the fans.
Looking back, clearly a Hall of Fame career. How does it feel to know that you're one of the best pass rushers of all time? You pass the likes of Lawrence Taylor, one of your idols growing up. And are you going to send Vaughn a gift if he passes you, or are you going to be a little upset?
You know what? I'm not going to send Vaughn a gift once he passes me. He's going to send me a gift. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I need a gift from Vaughn letting me know that, I appreciate you, bro. Like, I appreciate you for coming here and setting me straight. Yeah. I just passed you up. And Vaughn was like, DeMarcus, you was my idol. That's why I wear the long sleeves when I was in college and all that. And that's cool to hear. So now I'm like, okay, well, you got to play with your idol, right? So now when you surpass your idol, you listen, I need a little money. I need something. I don't know what it is.
Let me hold something. Let me hold
something, man.
That's so good. And clearly, people can see your energetic personality. You're so good on camera. And then you go do Dancing with the Stars in your post-career. And, bro, who was a better dancer, you or Vaughn? Who had better outfits? You guys compete in just about everything.
Listen, I had the most swag. I'm going to let you know right now, I'm the swag meister. So I had the most swag, and I did dance a lot better than Vaughn. He was a little bit stiff on there. I can talk bad about Vaughn, yeah. So I'm actually the best, and we made a bet. of who can stay on the longest. And I beat him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's automatic. That's automatic that, I was better already. So that was one of the most challenging things I've ever done before in my life, dude. I didn't know that the dancers are that athletic, but also have that much endurance. Oh, yeah. And to dance for, 1 minute, 2 minutes when we're on that stage, I had to remember every single one of those steps. It was, let's say like the first day, we practiced from Monday to Saturday, and then we had the show on Sunday. And it was 6-hour practices a day.
Oof.
That was worse than football. And they did it easy. They did it easy. And imagine in 1 minute, you had to remember like 250 steps. But with each one of those steps, there was some type of emotion where you had to cha-cha or you had to have some type of Roomba with that step. And you had to like smile at the judge. You had to do all these things. Dude, my brain was on overload. Every single time we started the show, there was these little blocks that click. It says click, 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 and then the show just starts. All the lights turn on. Every time I heard those blocks click, my mind just went blank. Well, I'm like, oh shit, what do I have to do? I forgot my steps. Almost like I forgot all the plays and everything, dude. And I just said, just flow, man. I'll take about 2 or 3 steps and then I'll start remembering what I need to do. And first it was like, oh shit, am I doing the right thing? Oh, I am doing it right. But it's just cool, dude, just to be part of something like that. Hey, why aren't you going on the show? They just starting this new Dancing with the Stars. You Rico Suave. Yeah.
I've been nursing a hammy here, so I'll just I'm gonna have to ice down. We'll see, maybe something else in my future.
Come on now, you Rico Suave. I saw the pictures already, so you gotta be on there.
Heck no. So back to everything DeMarcus Ware. Let's talk about 3 Volt Fit.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your new gym. It looks awesome. I saw the interview you did with the local news station. Yeah. You have they almost look like reformers. I think you said that was like step 1, then step 2 is like the cardio stuff, and then the lifting. Yeah. So explain, briefly how you put all that together. And it's right next to the Star in Dallas, right? It's close by there.
It's probably about 15 to 20 minutes away. Not that bad. That's just a small, short trip here in Texas. It's so freaking big. But when I retired, I love the workout. I worked out before, after. When we played together, just working out was something that I always did. It was my oasis just to get away and clear my mind. And when I retired, I did a lot of that. When you're retiring, you're transitioning, you're like, what can I do to really get that purpose back? The first thing I thought about is you work out all the time. You're a great motivator. You was a captain for 12 years in the NFL. Why not make your new locker room the weight room, where you can impact more people, not just from inside of the stadium, but people outside of the stadium, motivating them to live healthier lives and to be fit. So I actually tore out my garage, the little 2-car garage, and I built this little Sornic system inside of there. Okay. Woodway treadmills, step-up boxes, all this stuff, and started coming up with a method, right? And then I built the studio. And I said, okay, before I made all the mistakes, I built the studio and came up with all the methodology with also my partners. And I started building the gym. I said, what are the methods of fitness? How did you perform, or how did we perform when we played? There was a stabilization part that we always did before. There was a tread part where you have to do the cardio, and then there was a building part. So now that's what each one of these rooms are in one place. You got the Megaformers, which is the Legree method, actually out there in Cali with Sebastian Legree. And then you got the Woodway treadmills in there, FTG treadmills with step-up boxes, dumbbells, and suspension training. That's the tread. We call it, that's like, that's really where you want to burn the calories at. And then you got the building section, which is the HIIT. Then you got the HIIT room. So there's all 3 methods of fitness under one roof, which is the best way to get the best results in a small period of time. But the reason why I called it 3 volt is we want you to be electrified when you come in there. 3 lightning bolts, you're going to get your ass to work when you get in there. That's what I tell them.
I saw that on the wall. It said, "Get after that ass, baby."
You know, man.
All right.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
They love it, man. But it's cool. It's really cool.
That's funny. I do remember seeing you in Denver work out, and I remember asking the strength coach, Luke Richardson, at the time. I was just like, I thought this guy was old.
Dude.
Oh my God. He's just grinding.
Dude,
I mean, he's
day.
like, oh, that's nothing. That's like a warm-up. Wait till he starts throwing weight around. I was like, holy cow, I'm out of here.
Hey, listen, man, you came in. It was great just, being able to play with you, play against you, and then see you in Dallas, right? And then play with you in Denver.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, great dude, man. Like, great freaking dude.
Appreciate it, man.
And a lot of people, want to boast about themselves, but you, great dude, great player, doing a great job, especially now, with the way that things are, not playing football anymore, and then gravitating to your own of who you are, which is great. So, I'm glad that you've invited me on this show. I was on board with it when you first hit me up, so.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, you had some high praise for Cam throughout his career. You beat him in Super Bowl 50. How do you think he fares this season with Coach Belichick in New England? Just quick answer on that.
I think he has structure, and he's going to do well. I know with Bill, he creates plays that make the player great. And now he has an athlete that can throw the football, read defenses, but can also run. He still can run.
Right.
So I don't know what type of cat he has in the bag right now, but I know there's going to be some crazy Patriot plays. Like even when Tom Brady was there was crazy plays where he's at wide receiver. He's at tight end. I'm like,
right.
Brady doesn't play tight end, but they always making plays. So now you got an athlete back there, and this gives him a second chance to prove himself for who he was, an MVP player. And I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait for the season to start. That's one of the teams I'm very excited to watch.
Yeah.
As you know, Coach Belichick, one of his strengths is understanding what stresses his own defense. And, he talked about playing against Cam and how difficult it is and what he brings to the table. As a defender, you understand that. And Belichick's not afraid to, revolutionize some things, try some things that are maybe a little different. Like when he went 2 tight ends with Hernandez and Gronkowski and lit the league on fire, and they majored in 12 personnel, which nobody did. That was just kind of a personnel you had, but you didn't use a lot. And it was like we're only going to run the ball out of this set or have a quick pass check or something. But he's revolutionary that way. So I commend him for that. I think everybody's excited to see it. But then who do you think is your dark horse team? Somebody coming out of left field, maybe people aren't talking about, to win the Super Bowl this year. Do you think it's Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or you have somebody else in mind?
Man, that's a hard one, man. Winning the Super Bowl this year. You know what? What's so crazy? I'm still leaning on the Saints.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like the Saints, they're right where they need to be. They didn't lose a lot of guys. They still have everything that they had from last season, and they still have that edge of they were so close, like 2 years straight. One play, bobble, cornerback type deal. Another, they getting kicked out. I think there was a Houston or somebody that they got, kicked out by. But I feel like they're right there. And maybe they needed a little bit of time off. Everybody needed a little bit of time off. So I think that the Saints, for me, my dark horse is the Saints to really probably win the Super Bowl.
Okay, and then in your AFC West, the division you finished your career in, Broncos offense loaded. I think Drew Lock is a great answer for them. Right. Melvin Gordon, they poached from the Chargers. They got Phillip Lindsay, Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, they got some explosive talent on offense. Do you think the defense can hold up their end of the bargain? And do you think they make a serious run? Because they got to play with the likes of the Chiefs there. They could want to repeat as Super Bowl champs. What do you think about the Broncos' chances this year?
I think if they start off strong, they have everything that they need now, especially from an offensive standpoint, because the last 3 years, the defense has been holding up their own. They've been out there the whole time, and they haven't been scoring any points. And the last 3 years, it's always been like a turnover battle to where there's 2 a game, 1 a game. You can't win games that way. And now if you got Drew Lock there, right? You got all those offensive guys. And when they do score a lot of points, then you're going to see that defense come out like they should. They don't have to worry about holding up against a run for 60 minutes. They're actually pass rushing for 60 minutes. And that's when they want to crush teams. They're playing in their method. You know what? We're going to control the clock.
I agree. I mean, It's like when you got there and Peyton scoring a bunch of points, you weren't used to playing with a lead like that.
No.
Coming from Dallas as much. And now it's, hey man, it's a track meet out there. Pin your ears back. As soon as that ball snapped, we're on the quarterback fast. We're making a beeline 9.5 yards deep, and it's on. You know, so I think I saw that those latter years in Denver with you, and that had to be fun for you guys.
Yeah, man, because the thing is, we knew that they were going to control the clock. Like Peyton, he said, we're going to score 30 the first half. And I'm like, what? Like, so he would score 30. Listen,
what's that look like?
Listen, he would score 30 the first half, and he said, I'm going to control the clock the second half. We're going to run the football. We're not going to turn the football over. But what I need for you guys to do is to get us the ball back as many times as possible. It's not about running up the scoreboard. It's about running the clock down and giving you guys enough rest. And we had that scheme the whole time. And we won football games that way to where we would start off so fast, and all of a sudden that second half, we would just wake up. Because it's almost like they had the first 30, and we got the second 30. And that's what our method was.
That's great. And then last one on the Raiders. Can a team in Las Vegas stay focused and COVID-free? They got a lot of distractions. And then who are you starting? You put your John Gruden hat on. Hey, brother. This is John Gruden himself talking to you. Beware, D-Ware, Viva Las Vegas Raiders. What's up? Who starts, Carr or Mariota?
Oh, man. All right. So, first of all, there are a lot of distractions in Vegas. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never been there before. So it's going to be very hard for them to stay focused, or any other team to stay focused. So hopefully with them being there a lot, they get used to it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Then that can be something that can be used as a great distraction for the other teams that come in, right? Also, I would probably start Carr, because that's where everything started at. I remember when he hurt his leg, and I feel like they were going to win the Super Bowl that year. I feel like they were going to win. I feel like they were going to win the Super Bowl that year when he hurt his leg. Now they got him back. They got a couple of guys back. They can rush the passer after losing Mack and a couple other guys. And if I start a quarterback that they know that's also very, very hungry, not the new guy that's coming in, he's going to add the spark. Just in case Carr wants to slip up, Mariota's like, hey, I'm right here just in case. But I would start Carr, and I think the distractions in Vegas are going to be there. Hopefully, with them being there all this time, it becomes an advantage for them.
Awesome. D-Ware, we appreciate your time.
Yes,
Thank you so much for being gracious with your time. Big hug to you and the family, and we'll talk to you soon. Here's our sign-off. Go ahead, plug your social. Well, 3 Volt Fitness, we know that. For Instagram, it's at DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
And on Twitter, at DeMarcus Ware. We are at Fourth and Forever on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
You guys check it out. Peace out.
Like, share, subscribe, at Mark_Sanchez, at Fourth and Forever, Instagram, Twitter, all that. You know where to go. Thanks again for having us, and we'll see you soon.